Welcome to Whisper Tales, where every whisper hides a nightmare. If you love spine-chilling horror stories that keep you up at night, then hit subscribe and join our dark journey. Because the next tale might be about you. Ethan stood in the middle of the vintage apartment, heart hammering, lungs struggling to draw in the dusty, stagnant air. The door had vanished. In its place was wallpaper with a garish mustard pattern, curling at the edges like the skin of something long dead. Behind him, Lillian hummed softly. Her voice floated through the air, warping as if carried underwater. Time in a bottle. She was in the living room now, arranging a vase of wilted flowers. The same ones from the Polaroids. Her movements were mechanical, precise yet lifeless. Like a memory being replayed, again and again. Ethan stepped back slowly, not making a sound, until his heel hit something. He turned and saw the coffee table had changed. Gone were the photo albums and records. In their place sat a single object. A rotary phone. It rang. He froze. Ah-ring. Ah-ring. Lillian didn't flinch. As if she didn't hear it. Ethan picked up the receiver, expecting static or silence. But he heard his own voice. She'll never let you go unless you remember who you are. Then a click. Silence. He stared at the receiver, knuckles white. Who was he? He was Ethan Collins, 33, a freelance graphic designer from Portland, recently divorced, no kids, a failed marriage and a crippling loneliness. That's the mask, said a voice from the hallway. He spun around. Another version of himself stood in the doorway. Older. Tired. Haunted eyes and sunken cheeks. Clothes tattered, arms scarred. You wear Ethan like a jacket, the doppelganger said. But your name was Jack the first time you entered. You just don't remember yet. Ethan shook his head, backing away. This is a trick. A dream. Some kind of psychotic break. The other Ethan, Jack, nodded sympathetically. I said the same thing. So did all of us. But every time you come back, you forget a little more. She makes sure of it. Lillian giggled in the background. She was now in the kitchen again, stirring a pot of stew. The smell was rotting sweet. Jack/Ethan knelt and opened a floorboard beneath the rug. From it, he pulled a shoebox filled with old photographs, all Polaroids. All of Ethan. Different versions. Some smiling. Some screaming. One photo had a bloodstain across it. And another showed him standing beside Lillian, holding her hand, wearing a wedding ring. Caption: Jack and Lillian, 1974. Ethan dropped the photo, bow rising in his throat. I'm not him. I'm not from 1974. Jack's face hardened. You were the original tenant. You loved her once. But when you tried to leave, the apartment fractured time to keep you. Ethan staggered back, the walls pulsing like a heartbeat. The vinyl turned on its own. Jim Croce's voice came back, warped, reversed. The apartment itself groaned. Suddenly, a door appeared again. Not the main one. This was in the bedroom, hidden behind a vanity mirror. Jack gestured toward it. It's the only way out. But it only opens once. Ethan rushed toward it, but Lillian was faster. She appeared in the doorway like a shadow poured into flesh. Her eyes weren't eyes anymore. Just black sockets oozing static. Her jaw unhinged. You can't leave, Jack! Ethan screamed and shoved past her. The hallway beyond the secret door was narrow, endless. As he ran, the walls closed in. Old wallpaper peeled as if he were running through the guts of something alive. Behind him, Lillian shrieked, an inhuman, ear-splitting wail. He emerged into his apartment, Unit 509. Or at least a version of it. His things were there. Laptop. Coffee mug. But the calendar on the wall said November 3rd. He had been gone nearly a month. The windows showed the same city skyline, but cracked and gray, like a decaying painting. He didn't care. He was out. He collapsed onto the couch, laughing and sobbing. Then he heard it. A knock. 3 slow knocks. coming from inside his closet. He stood. Opened it. Inside, the rotary phone sat on the shelf. It rang. He answered, trembling. You left a piece of yourself behind, Jack. And we don't like unfinished stories. Click. The lights flickered. The couch sagged beneath him, like something had climbed into it from below. The windows shattered in reverse, pulling glass inward. And then he realized. He was still inside the apartment. The hallway outside now looped. He'd walk in a circle, back to the same unmarked door. Again and again. Lillian stood in the distance. A figure in yellow. Smiling. And behind her, Ethan saw hundreds of doors. Endless hallways. Time stacked upon itself. A maze of memories. And in the center of it all, the apartment, alive, breathing, watching. Waiting for the next tenant. Ethan paced through the endless hallway, his breathing shallow, chest tight. Every corner turn revealed the same peeling wallpaper, flickering light, and a single door that always led back to apartment 509. No matter how fast he walked, or how far he ran, the layout folded onto itself like a Rubik's Cube constantly twisting behind his back. He had tried everything. Screaming. Kicking down doors. Smashing walls. Nothing worked. He was stuck. Worse, he wasn't alone anymore. Each hallway now whispered. Not with voices, but with moments, echoes of time itself. He'd catch glimpses of his other selves in mirrors, one tearing out his hair, another carving symbols into the walls. One sat motionless, face blank, lips repeating. I signed the lease. I signed the lease. I signed the... Ethan ran from them. But no matter where he turned, he always ended up at the apartment door. Unit 509. Again. He stood there now, hand trembling just inches from the doorknob. A note had been taped to the door. Yellowed paper in old cursive. Every time you come back, you remember less. If you want to leave, you must remember why you came. J. Ethan swallowed hard. The message was from him? Or the original him? Jack? It didn't matter anymore. He had to find the root. The beginning. The first time he entered. Inside the apartment, everything had shifted again. The walls were now a tapestry of decades. The kitchen looked like 2005, stainless steel appliances, granite tops. The hallway was pure 1980s, carpeted in shag, old VHS tapes stacked beside a wooden console TV. The living room? Still stuck in 1974. Lillian sat on the couch, sipping wine. You're back, she said sweetly, though her eyes were all wrong, black pits filled with swirling ash. You're not real, Ethan said, stepping cautiously inside. She smiled. Neither are you, not anymore. Not in the way you think. She stood, walked to the mantel, and picked up a framed photo. She handed it to him. It was a wedding photo. His face. Her face. The same floral dress she wore now. Caption. Jack and Lillian, March 17, 1974. Apartment 509. His knees buckled. This couldn't be real. But it was. Bits of memory returned in stabs of pain. He had signed a lease. Not last month, but 50 years ago. He was Jack. His real name. A war vet drifting from job to job. He had fallen in love with Lillian, an artist who lived in this very apartment. They had rented it together. Shared dreams here. Until she changed. Until she brought the cult. He remembered now. The night she invited those people over. The chanting. The fire. The blood. She said the apartment was a conduit, a space between time. That their love could live forever if they offered a sacrifice. She wanted him to stay with her, forever. He had refused. And she had cursed him. You trapped me here, Ethan said, the rage boiling up. You fractured my soul. Lillian's face shifted, her mouth stretched unnaturally wide, black veins crawling over her skin. You broke your vow, Jack. You left me. And now you keep coming back in pieces, lifetime after lifetime. Until you finally remember what you owe. Ethan backed away. I don't owe you anything. You signed the lease, she growled. In blood. She lifted her hand. From the floor, the carpet split apart like a mouth, and a cursed object rose up. A ceramic heart-shaped music box. He remembered it now. Her gift to him. The one that played their song. Time in a bottle. The same box he had smashed in the fight, the night before she died. It holds the loop, she whispered. Break it, and you end the story. But you end with it. Ethan stared at the box. It spun slowly. Break it, and die. Keep it, and be trapped? He closed his eyes. Then made his choice. He rushed the table and smashed the music box into the floor. A blast of air erupted, like a bomb detonating in reverse. The room shattered. Time fractured. Suddenly, Ethan was falling through layers of memory, flashing lights, sirens, hospital rooms, shattered glass, 1984, 1993, 2020, all racing past his eyes like a film strip. He screamed, then landed in silence. Daylight. He blinked, shielding his eyes. He was outside, sitting on a curb, beside an ambulance. Paramedics loading someone into a stretcher. Sir? Can you hear me? A woman asked. You collapsed in the hallway. Do you know your name? He looked down. In his hand, the broken pieces of the ceramic heart. Yeah, he said slowly, voice rasping. I'm Jack. Weeks passed. Ethan, Jack, moved away. Took a new name. Got a job out west. Started therapy. Tried to forget. But some nights, when the house was still, he'd hear it again. Time in a bottle. He kept the shattered music box pieces in a drawer. And sometimes, they rearranged themselves. Like they wanted to be whole again.